Here I am, walking to the beach. I finally got myself out here. And it's raining, so you can see why I didn't really want to go outside today. But I have a lot of things on my mind as I'm walking to the beach. And because it's a rainy day, very few people are out on the street. So I don't mind talking as I'm walking. Because I don't really give a shit if people hear me, because there's nobody to hear me. Except for when I post this on YouTube. But I'm on this thing right now that says you create your world by what you declare your world to be. Now there's a lot of people that say I'm a prophet. Generally they're financially profiting off of their prophecies, and they're not really realizing that what they perceive their reality, what they perceive and prophesize what their world's going to be, is exactly you creating that. So, while we're looking at a world that is falling apart, is the world really falling apart, or is it just coming together in the chaos? That's why I've been is religion kind of evil if they all prophesize that the world is going to come to an end, when their own books say, if you do it this way, there won't be an end to the world? So it's like, are they really understanding their own books? So, if I'm going to be, I don't know, this word came to mind of being a beach prophecy. a beach prophet. And go on the beach and just test everybody's belief and prophesize what their future's going to be. Because it's all going to be based on what they believe in. So you can easily tell what their future's going to be based on their belief systems. So it's like, challenge what you believe to be true. For some odd reason, I know that there's a lot of solutions out there. This Dr. Wolf, for example, says that his life purpose is to clean up the biosphere. We have a few problems within our biosphere, and there's somebody that's claiming out in the world that he can fix it. So, I mean, as long as we're going to say there are no solutions, there definitely are a lot of solutions. But we, the people, have to believe that they're out there. If you believe that this is the end of the world, then you're going to find all of the ways to destroy your world. But if you believe everything can be saved, you got to kind of believe it's out there and know that you aren't the one necessarily to do it, but you're the one that has to be looking for it. And it is a matter of you being the solution to your problem. If everybody's experiencing a lot of problems, then everybody jumped into their solutions to their problems, we'd experience world peace. But information isn't really shared because we're too busy pushing our beliefs that it's like your beliefs are a little dead wrong. So it's like, why don't you believe in something a little bit more powerful so that we can create something a little bit better than this experience? So I believe, have I destroyed the planet enough for us to realize we need to change our belief systems? A lot of us don't have trust. Why don't you just trust in yourself? I trust in myself. I'm going to build up that's why I started my YouTube channel, is to start building my trust in myself again. And with so many loving people on my channel, I'm developing a little bit more faith in myself. And starting to believe things are changing. I'm seeing change everywhere. First change is I'm getting the hell out of the house. Peace out. Walking to the beach. Here's another area that I walk through. There's a lot of geese around. I don't know if you can catch all of this, but it's a beautiful little creek. There's a lot of ducks, and there's gonna be babies. Things are gonna get a lot better from here on out when we start declaring what it is we want to believe. It's, this conversation about this guy that's saying if you wear a short skirt, you're going to get raped. And it's like, yeah, that belief will make it happen. And you got to understand, people do have those belief systems out there because somebody taught them how to believe that way. It doesn't mean wearing a short skirt and saying, I should be able to get away with this and not be raped. Yes, that is true. But you pretty much have to change your world in order for that to be true. Don't be out there and be the martyr to your point. Because at the end of the day, you're dead. And it's like, I love wearing short skirts. I love wearing high heels. But if it's at the cost of destroying my planet, is it really worth it? Or can we live in a world where, we haven't made women be this sexual scapegoat to every freaking problem in the world? I don't know, I've lived with this, lots of people saying women are to blame with overpopulation. It's like, how many men go around having sex without any responsibility for the children they bring into the world? Isn't it more men not being responsible than it is women having it and being programmed to believe they're just the sexual slaves of the universe? If we're the sexual slaves, we're going to have kids. So it's like, why not make women, more of the something to be respected, and, make us into loving beings that you look up to and cherish, because ultimately the making of another human life means you've just shared an enormous amount of love through the respect you show another person. It's our disrespect that's creating little human beings that are not born out of love, but born out of disrespect. And then they're programmed to be disrespectful people. And then we wonder where they get their belief systems from. But we're doing it to them. Going through the large chain. Peace out. Almost at the beach. And somebody was mentioning on one of my posts, I was saying talking about my addiction to smoking. I know damn well it's killing me. And the idea or the belief of somebody else was that smoking can't kill you. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of people that are smoking that don't die, but a lot of people are dying from smoking. And we have a cancer society, which it's just at the store, and they were trying to raise money. The Cancer Society, join the fight. It's like, what a contradiction. The fight, is causing cancer, and nothing ever got solved out of fighting. But the Cancer Society is about fighting, and the Cancer Society already knows what the cure of cancer is. They say more than 50% of all cancers can be prevented. So where's the prevention? Like maybe stop putting toxic chemicals into the air we breathe, stop poisoning the food we eat, and, stop all of the ways that cause cancer, and maybe we won't die of cancer. But in our court systems, you can't prove what actually causes cancer. Nobody's ever going to be responsible, because if a company actually goes out there and says, yeah, I put toxic waste, but, your cancer was, created because of your lifestyle. Oh, you're a smoker. So it's like the corporate structure isn't responsible because you aren't responsible, because you're doing something you know damn well ain't good for you, but you justify it because you believe it won't kill you. And you can say that you love smoking and it's not going to kill you. So technically, it's like, okay, if you know for sure that cancer kills, it causes cancer, it's been known to cause cancer, just the same as you can put toxic chemicals into the environment, and it's going to end up destroying the world, poisoning it. If you continue to smoke, then you basically, if you love smoking, you love killing yourself. You know, why do you need to smoke? What is the driving force that makes you even need it? You know, when you get to the root causes of why you smoke, maybe analyze whether you should believe it won't kill you. Because I have a feeling that when you get to the end of that discussion with yourself, you'll find out you're just killing yourself and trying to think everything that's wrong is somehow going to be okay. And how good did that work for us? You know, what part is acceptable of what's wrong in our world and thinking somehow that it's going to be okay? You know, destroying people's lives and that's going to be okay. Destroying the air we breathe and that's going to be okay. At some point in time, we've got to realize doing the right thing is the way to go. Having a better belief system is the way to go. But that's just what I believe. And I at least can see my own sanity that I'm doing shit that's killing me. And I got to stop that by creating a life that I actually love living in. And I think that's where most of us are going wrong, is we're finding our enjoyment out of living life through stuff and not through people and relationships and what love actually means and what happiness actually means and feels like. And then believing in it and creating it. What a beautiful day. And it's nice and calm. Lots of clouds that are probably got a lot of toxic chemicals in there, which I know I'm not going to be the one that's dying from it. That's just a belief I'm going to put out there, that I'm not going to die of it, but I'm going to be the force that makes some changes. And you know, that's where it is. Declare who you want to be. You know, some people that say I'm going to be a superstar, they've just been the ones that declared themselves to be a superstar. Nobody else did. You know, everybody just started agreeing with what they said. Oh, maybe he's a superstar. You know, and then as soon as enough people say that, then all of a sudden they turn into superstars. So it's like, declare who you want to be. A lot of people are very, very depressed. It's like, do you want to get out of your depression? Declare yourself to be not a depressed person. You know, it's a matter of saying things when you don't really believe it, and then saying it long enough until you do believe it. For instance, I do smoke, so instead of saying I'm a smoker, if I say I'm a non-smoker, one day I'll believe it, just because I'm declaring that. You know, declare what you want your world to be. There's the walk I just walked. I'm going to turn around and walk the other way. Actually, I'm going to walk up. This beach is usually really full. A lot of kids on the beach. A lot of people come to this area just because of the loving energy that they feel from here when they go from a different place. You know, high city Calgary, you know, the cement world, and then they come into the nature world and it feels so powerful. And these are because of the natural elements, you know, the water, the mountains. You know, you're getting more into nature, and that vibration of nature is calming, is peaceful. But last summer there was very few people here. It's like the economy is definitely being affected a little bit in Canada, although Canadians don't really see that there's something going on. You keep putting these bailouts out, it just is prolonging the inevitable. It's coming. We just don't see it coming.